Welcome to Everything Entrepreneurship with Kyle Jerome Carter. This is the place, the home, the podcast for ambitious professionals who are building their dream, who are chasing their dream in between meetings, after work, and before the sun rises. Today, I'm going to switch it up. I don't have an agenda of, I'm going to push this topic and I'm going to show you the 3 steps, or 4 steps, or 5 steps how to do it. But more so, I'm opening up a dialogue, making a conversation. One, to say thank you to you. We've grown. Right now I'm at 632 subscribers. I started with like 19 this year. So that's huge. For me, it's not about hitting 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. It's about building a community of people that know they're meant for more, but the realities of life kick in and it's hard for them to proceed forward. And that's what I'm here for. Every person that subscribes, every person that comments, I appreciate you all, not because it allows these videos to go to more people, but because it allows me to understand what's working, as in like, what can I speak to help you out, So the call to action that I'm going to make right now are, what are the main things that you want to see content about in or around entrepreneurship in 2026? I want you to leave a comment below of what it is, and I'm going to make sure that I tackle it in some form or fashion. Most people have gotten distracted from their ultimate goal, and sometimes no fault of their own, because, as I said before, time isn't the most valuable thing, your attention is. And regardless of if you set a goal back in January and you blew it out the water, regardless of if you set a goal in January and you're close to it, regardless of if you set a goal back in January and you're nowhere near it, but you attempted it. It's not about giving out awards for trying, but more so understanding in the landscape that we're in, when life gets lifing, with record-breaking layoffs, with things being more expensive, you putting yourself out there and attempting requires you take a moment to reflect of the objective accomplishment you did. Because when it comes to a side hustle, a business, trying to secure a second form of income, 9 times out of 10 people will not even attempt to try. So I'm not saying, hey, you tried, you deserve a cookie, but rather, hey, you pushed through and you persevered beyond your comfort zone and you attempted, and now you're setting yourself up more than if you didn't at all. That's what I'm saying, right? If you know me personally, I'm not the rah-rah, jump up and down, do backflips, like just screaming motivational guy, but rather I just put in perspective to make a vision that you already have more clear, and how you can do that while you're navigating the workplace, right? So like I said, this is a laid back episode, as it's December 7th, it's Sunday. This comes out tomorrow. Though I have been thinking, should I drop these on Tuesdays instead of Mondays? Let me know below. I want you to take a moment to do 2 things. Number 1, I want you to think about all the objective things that you've accomplished in the direction of your goal, right? Whether it's buy a franchise, whether it's start a business, whether it's partner up with your best friend or a family member. What have you accomplished objectively? Don't get your emotions involved. Look at it strictly as just pound for pound. I did this. And I want you to reflect on that and think, wow, I said I was going to do something and I either accomplished it or I moved closer to it. And I want you to now then think about how you can actually bring that to fruition next year. Because though as crazy as it was in 2025, and again, when I say this, I mean it. You can make more money next year than you have every single year that you've worked alone. So for instance, if you worked for 5 years and then that 5 years, I don't know, I'm not about to do some crazy math, but if you work 5 years, let's say, and you made, let's say 80,000 every single year, that's $400,000. I'm saying that next year you can surpass that $400,000. If you've been working 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I'm saying that not because you're going to just get rich quick, you're going to hit the lottery, because there's a shortcut that you can just do without providing any value to somebody in the form of a product, service, or content. No, what I'm saying is the fact that you laid down the foundation, you moved towards your goal, and next year you're going to accomplish your goal. That benefit isn't just going to be for you in the form of money, but it's also going to help the people around you. It's going to help your friends and family. When I got into business, it wasn't just about providing financial security for me and my family, but it's also about doing that for other people. Remember when I first started, I was like, yo, Like $1 million is cool and stuff, but I'm trying to provide 401ks. I want to be able to help out many other families, be the livelihood of other people. And as we work towards these goals, you have to be objective in what you've accomplished. It's the small wins that stack up into big wins, and you have them, I promise. Right? And now for my people that are literally like, hey, KJC, I'm over here going through it. Times are hard. I'm not able to provide for my family the way I was before. I'm not able to get gifts for my family like I was before. You're not alone. There was some record-breaking statistic that said a big majority, I believe it was around over 80% of purchases that were made on Black Friday were financed by either like buy now, pay laters, like Klarna, apps like that, or they were put on credit cards without the expectation to pay back that balance within 30 days. Not many people were just using the cash they had or said, I'm going to make this purchase and within 30 days, I'm going to pay this back. Times are hard, right? So regardless of if you have a savings, regardless of if you're making good money, regardless if you can tap into a 401k, regardless if you already have a second form of income, things are hard. And with that being said, you have to do one thing. You need to keep moving forward. And how do you keep moving forward? As I say, you need to focus on your best next step. Well, how do you know your best next step? You figure out your best next step by taking a moment to think. Peace, quiet, think. I want you to think a little bit more in 2026, especially as everything has become more streamlined. AI has been more involved, not just in our day-to-day lives, but in businesses, companies taking positions and all that stuff. Take time to think. Because regardless of how fast and efficient AI is, your ability to think past it is still, you still got time to make it happen. What do I mean by that? If AI is coming for your job, as they say, right? It's the boogie monster. But in some cases, these layoffs have been made because of AI efficiency in the workplace. Again, I don't mean to go on a whole long diatribe. What I'm getting at is this. Your ability to think and rationalize and how to leverage AI, not just use AI and make some quick money, but how you can actually stress test it, how you can just be aware of it, how it can just be part of your day. I'm going to take 5 minutes to see what's happening in AI as it pertains to my specific business or industry. You'll be able to go much further. When I say think, I'm talking about honestly just think and dream. What would life be like if you did accomplish your goals? Because whereas I'm not getting overly woo-woo over here, it really is only 3 things you really need to accomplish a goal and be successful in any business. Number 1 being the right mindset. Number 2, and again, it's not about being woo-woo, you need to have the right vibration. You need to be in tune with what it is you're trying to attract, right? And then lastly, you have to actually follow through and do the work. So again, that's mindset, vibration, and do the work. Technically, people that ignore number 2 can just say there's 2 things, mindset and do the work. But outside of that, you can't do it. You can't accomplish it without anything else. Now, granted, you have that slight percentage that gets stuff handed to them, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about the people that didn't find success in whatever subjective means that is for them within their first, second, or third attempt at a side hustler business. If it's taking you more than that 3 attempts, then you're in the right place because it's hard. But what I'm trying to open your eyes to is that technically it's not hard. So if we take a moment to think, we take a moment to reflect, we take a moment to look at our objective wins, what I also want you to do is take a moment to just analyze your day. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Some of you work more than that. And obviously some people work overnights and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying. Your 9 to 5 is a gold mine. And though whenever I talk about that and break it down on the channel or in these the employee to entrepreneur masterclass that I do, oh my goodness, people just light bulbs go off. So I think I'm going to not only lean into that, but also I'm going to lean into bringing out the stories of people that have been in your situation. You know, they were entrepreneurial employees and they ended up starting a business, a side hustle, a second form of income, and they decided to stay, but their side hustle or business makes the same, if not more than what they're already making. But they like the price of healthcare while they're employed, opposed to being self-employed. Or they said, you know what, screw my 9 to 5. I made this money, I'm out, I'm providing for my family. In 2026, I aim to bring you more stories. I aim to, obviously I'm not perfect like you guys, And granted, life's been life. And I've had more medical issues this year than I've ever had combined in my life. But we still overcome because I know at the end of the day, I'm blessed. I still have this platform. I know the value of an audience, and I respect you guys. As you guys listen to me, as you guys watch me, I'm going to make sure I do right by you and continue to convey to you that you can do it, not from some standpoint to benefit off you, but to let you know that it's true, that you can do it. If you're watching this video, no matter what it is that you have set, you can accomplish your goals. Now, the only thing I'll challenge you to do in today's video is not wait until January 1st. You can make the decision to start today. You don't need a Monday. You don't need the first of a month. You don't need the first of the year. You can start chasing your goals, making progress, adding value, and taking money today. You don't have to wait for some specific time that you think is needed or required. But like I said, today's a quick video, very, very quick. I appreciate the fact that you're here with me. I want you to put in the comments the type of content that you'd like me to continue to do or start or try in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that button. I appreciate you guys. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And just remember that on an objective level, Kyle Jerome Carter is saying that you can accomplish your goals. You got this. Have a good one.